Gabby, you done your England player ratings from last night?
Yes, I have, mate. Yes, I have. Got a good pick for the 6. I thought he done his job. A few ridiculous punches. Some of his kicking wasn't great. You know, he was kicking the ball straight to the defence. Walker 7. Give Stones a 5. Didn't think he was at his best. Gay got an 8 from me. Thought he was outstanding. Trippier was safe. Done okay. He's got a 6 from me. Declan Rice 8. Was very mature in the way he played. Trent, I'm going to give a 4. Sorry. Bellingham a 9. Foden a 3. Kane a 5. And Saka 7.
Whoa.
What about you, mate?
Yeah, well, similar. 4 of the back 5, absolutely the same. I'd given Trippier a 7 rather than a 6. Thought he was solid. Like you gave Declan Rice an 8, given Trent a 5, Bellingham 9, same as. And then up front, thought Saka first half was brilliant. He got an 8. Kane 5, Foden 4. Yeah. So just we're on the same wavelength. I was a tiny bit more generous, but I get absolutely where you're coming from. Now, on the sports bar, taking your calls last night with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, and Jamie was not happy with the England boss.
It just doesn't look like he's ever going to change. He doesn't want to be proactive when it comes to making a substitution. Now, we've won the game because, really and truthfully, Serbia were a bang average side and didn't really hurt you. But you come up against a top team, and we play like that in the second half, we're getting undone. It's as simple as that. Same old Southgate. And even his interview about conserving energy in the first half, what are you on about? We've got 10 subs.
Well, it's not often I agree with Jamie O'Hara, but I have to say I think he's absolutely nailed it. Probably is, yeah. I think he absolutely nailed it there. 03717223344. Is Jamie O'Hara right to have a rant about Gareth? Give us a call. I mean, the fact is, he's right. We've got 10 subs sitting on the bench.
But it's not... yes, we've got subs, Jeff, but these aren't players that aren't used to playing, like, you know, in big games and play, like, 70, 80 minutes to make a few changes. Why would you conserve energy? You should be at it first half and at it second half. Anyone who's getting tired, you bring them off. Look at Saka. Saka looked a bit tired. Okay, Bowen, come on. Bowen nearly got a great assist for Harry Kane's head off the bar. You've got the players to bring on and make changes. You can't be saying conserve energy. Would you a top manager like Pep or Klopp? And Ferguson saying, got to conserve energy better, you know, first half, don't run too forward, lads. You know, you've had a few chances, save some energy for the 70th minute. Come on. God's sake.
Look, let's see if there were any positive aspects. Joining us now to tell us his thoughts is the Sun's football editor, Charlie Wyett. Morning, Charlie.
Good morning, Charlie.
Morning, chaps. How you doing?
Good, yeah. Look, I guess the biggest positive in a lot of ways, Charlie, was a clean sheet.
It was. You know, I think ultimately, I agree with what you guys are saying. There's a lot of stuff to improve, that's for sure. But look, ultimately, they didn't lose. It was a clean sheet. It was what Mark Gay's only his 12th appearance for England. That's a partnership that starts. I mean, let's not forget Harry Maguire had only played 5 times for England when they went to Russia. John Stones has come off a week where he's hurt his foot against Iceland. He's been sat on the toilet on the Wednesday feeling ill. And, you know, Kieran Trippier's missed some of the end of the season as well. So, and you mentioned Saka tiring. Well, he's not played much since the end of the season when he suffered the groin injury. He's not even taken part in all the training sessions out here in Germany. So I think there were a few fitness issues, and that's only going to improve. So I think the main thing is that they didn't draw, that they won. And as you said, Harry Kane, I don't think he looked fit either. I know he's saying he's fine. He's been suffering with a back injury. He missed the end of the season. Didn't play against Serbia at Newcastle. So I think there's a few issues there. But hopefully they'll improve for Denmark in Frankfurt on Thursday.
Charlie, I think the frustration from like most England fans, yes, we won the game, but is Kane has to play every minute? Foden cannot be subbed because everyone's saying the same thing. 55 minutes, 60 minutes. Bring Watkins on, threatening behind. Bring Gordon on, who's fearless, going to run at the defence. That needs to happen in the tournament. If players aren't performing, anyone can get subbed.
I think so. Maybe do you think that? I mean, I agree. I'd have taken off Foden and Kane earlier as well. Do you think that maybe it was because that apart from maybe the Pickford save at the end, despite England not playing their best, they weren't really threatening us, were they? And maybe
just felt... all it takes is a corner and a header goal, 1-1, and you're like, come on, be proactive. Even though you're winning, you can still make a change. You know, bring Gordon on. He's fearless. Eze, you know, Bowen come on and done well. Great sub. But Kane can come off. Watkins, stretch him. You know, bring more energy. That's what you need out of a game like that. Use your subs. Hopefully he does that in the rest of the tournament. But last night, a lot of frustration from England fans was, come on, make these changes earlier.
I'd have taken Foden off earlier. Yeah, that's for sure. I thought Saka, as you said, was outstanding first half.
Yep.
He made that decision at the right time, I think. But yeah, Foden, it's a shame, isn't it? Because I think last night was maybe his 35th game for England. And you can count with one hand the amount of times Foden's played really well for England, can't you, really? And when you
count his goals on one hand, all 4 of them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And he was consistently brilliant for Manchester City. Certainly was last season, wasn't he? So, look, there's room for improvement. But again, you know, you're thinking Argentina lost the first game of the World Cup against Saudi Arabia. And, you know, I was in France 2016 when Portugal didn't even win a game in their group. And they ended up winning the Euros. I think they lost at Wembley, actually, in their final warm-up game. So look, I don't think there's room for panic. But I think equally, Denmark would be much tougher. And let's not forget, and I think England fans are forgetting this, Denmark are not forgiving us for the way we beat them at Wembley in the semi-finals of the Euros. You know, I think a lot of England fans have forgotten that game. They really haven't. And that's going to be a real theme of the next few days, how they feel, you know, Raheem Sterling fell over a bit too easily for a penalty that we scored from the rebound. So that's going to be a huge game.
talkSPORT's voice of live football, Adrian Durham, thinks fingers will be pointed at Gareth Southgate.
I think that second half performance from England is why there are so many doubts among the England faithful about Gareth Southgate's ability to get the job done and win England a trophy. We basically handed over control of the game to Serbia. Why on earth did we do that? Then there's a trickle of substitutions. Rather than decisive substitutions, it was a trickle, a little drip here and there of substitutions, which robbed him of the chance of making more substitutions, left us in danger when Trippier went down. I think that a lot of people will look at that second half and point at Gareth Southgate, and I can understand why they do that.
Gabby, would you be pointing the finger at Gareth?
Listen, we have to take the positives. Jude Bellingham was outstanding. Saka was outstanding first half. But I think the frustration from everyone, Jeff, and I'm sure you're similar, is if we're going to go and win a tournament, in the latter stages you're playing a Portugal, a Germany, a France, you have to make these changes at the right times. 55 minutes, even if you're winning and someone's not performing like Phil Foden, take him off. Gordon's ready there, had an outstanding season for Newcastle. Make the changes at the right time. You know, no one's invincible that has to play 90 minutes. Harry Kane, not performing, not running in behind, not contributing. Watkins and Tony are sitting there. Watkins, 19 Premier League goals, no penalties. These players, bring them on. Bringing Bowen on was good for Saka. Saka looked like he was tiring. But I'm sure Saka's looking and thinking, why is Foden not getting taken off? He's not performed. So if we're going to win a tournament, I feel that Southgate has to make these changes earlier.
Why can't they find the key to Phil Foden, who we know is a magnificent player, but was just anonymous last night?
I think we've seen it in previous generations, haven't we, with players that been outstanding for their clubs and not done it in England, sure. And we can't talk about, oh, he's on the left, and he's on the right, or he's here. Top players can play anywhere and put out a performance. I've seen Cesc Fabregas say it last night. He was saying, listen, when you're Premier League player of the season, you have to go out there, and even you're on the left, you've got the rotations allowed as well. Get on the ball, make things happen. But his stats for England, people will probably be quite shocked. 4 goals in 35 games for England. 1 tournament goal. You know, you compare that to Saka, who's got 27 goal contributions in 24 starts for England. So you're looking at that and you're thinking, come on, Phil.
World. Yeah.
Bellingham is out there showing that he wants to go and win this tournament. We need a Kane to be like that. We need Foden to be like that. If they're not, look at the talent we got on the bench. Not even mention Palmer.
What did you think of the experiment? I think it's divided people of playing Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. What was your view?
Listen, I was all for it at the start of the game because I thought, like we said at the start of the show yesterday, Jeff, that Serbia aren't really a team that we should be scared of. But watching the game, even coming to like positions where he's not used to, giving the ball away. I think he gave one away and Mitrovic had a shot. Didn't look like it worked for me. It wasn't really helping get the ball back as well as much. And it wasn't a shock that it was the first sub. You know, Gallagher coming on for Trent was obvious for everyone to see. So it didn't work for me.
There were positives. Of course there were. 3 points, a clean sheet, Jude Bellingham, and the behaviour of the England fans. all positives. Let's take another caller. Patrick is a Pompey and England fan. He's called 03717 223344. Morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Gabby. Good morning, Jeff. Great show as always. I'm trying
Thanks,
to take
Patrick.
the positives out of it. I'm trying to take the positives out of the game last night, but it really shows through that I'm afraid Southgate's inept. You know, if we go into the first game of a tournament, we want to make a statement like Germany's made. We want to make a statement like Spain's made. We want teams to fear us from the off. I don't think there's a single team that's watched that game and thought, oh my God, we don't fancy our chances with them.
And that seems to be the reaction in the European press today. Nobody seems to have been afraid of England. But it doesn't really matter in the long term, though, does it? You know, because, as I say, if England going to win the tournament, nobody will remember England won Serbia 0, Patrick.
Absolutely, I totally agree. But if the whole of the nation are saying that you should have made subs earlier, you know, the opposite manager is going to go into the change room at half-time and he's going to go, someone needs to get on Saka. We need to double up on him. He's going to make changes. He's going to adapt, which is exactly what he did. But we didn't adapt, did we? We didn't go into the second half and go, OK, let's change it again and go 2 or 3-0 up and put this to bed. We went on the back foot. We brought on defensive-minded people. You know, when you can see, and the whole of the nation can see that people are struggling a little bit, like Saka, Kane, and things like that, give them a rest anyway. Bring on some talent that's fearless. You know,
Patrick, it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, go on, sorry.
Patrick, it's a bit harsh to say we brought on defensive-minded players. We brought on Jared Bowen for a start who almost created the goal. Look, thanks for your call. Appreciate it. 03717 223344. Not only did England's campaign get underway last night against Serbia with a win, it gets even better with Greg's giving away a free sausage roll when you spend £15 exclusively on Just Eat. Plus, check out other deals across the tournament on the app and order now. That was talkSPORT's breakfast menu.
Was ist das? talkSPORT?